Hello, hello. Happy new moon coming up this Saturday, October 14th. It is going to be in Libra. There's several planets right now currently in Libra. So first off, we have our sun, which is going to represent balance and harmony within our relationships and even our conversations acting almost as mirrors. So if you've been noticing recently, like having conversations of things that you've been seeing internally, that can represent that. Also, our Mercury is in Libra, so being pretty good with negotiations, seeing both sides of situations when it comes to any type of conversation or ordeal. Our Mars is also in Libra, which is crazy. So, our Sun, our Mercury, which is the planet of like communication and thinking, and our Mars, I see it as our approach to life, or they say aggression, but again, I see it as like our approach, how we apply ourselves. So yeah, with our Mars being in Libra, again, being pretty good with negotiation, but making sure that we can make decisions pretty clearly. So if we need to like spend some time alone and do some inner work, that will be quite necessary for that. And then our Venus is going to be in Virgo. So it just switched from Leo to Virgo this week, actually, which is going to take it more from a lighthearted and playful side to a more gesture and being of service to others and within our relationships, values. And another thing with this is to make sure that we're not being too overly critical or worried with our current circumstances or relationships or values, but we're just letting things be. So let's get started here. Yeah, this is going to be my very first tarot reading. I tried to do one for the full moon in Aries, but I ended up just not posting the video because it was kind of a test. So anyways, here we are. So our new moon here is going to be all about beginnings and setting intentions and initiating. So basically, I'm just going to do a collective reading for this new moon coming up in Libra. So let's take a stab at it. So basically, I'm just going to see what messages the universe has for us as a collective. So we can take this reading with a grain of salt and apply it. Maybe you'll resonate with it, maybe you won't. That's okay. Let's pull a card. I'm going to kind of sort these cards out in terms of past, present, and future. Past being like, what are we reflecting on, or what are we looking back at? How can we learn from these things, from our past energy? And present being, what do we need to look at right now? And then future being, okay, what's our outcome of setting our intentions for this new moon? So let's get started. I'm going to pull like cards to go off of these current cards here too, these current 3 cards. So other cards to kind of elaborate in detail of whatever the universe universe and spirit has to offer us in terms of wisdom. So I am super excited. Whoops. I'm super excited to be reading here. A little nervous, but it's okay. Who's not nervous doing their first time of anything, so, or whenever you're new. Let's see. So I pulled out the first 2 cards. They're both wands. It's supposed to represent fire, which is going to be passion, creativity. So let me pull out my 3rd card. Cool. So no major arcana cards here, but maybe if we choose to elaborate on certain circumstances of the past, present, or future energies, there may be. So, all right, let's get started. So our first card here, this is going to represent our past energy. And this is 5 of Wands. Usually the 5s represent some kind of conflict, and it's right in the middle between 1 and 10. So the 5 of Wands, yeah, it says outer conflict, rivalry, nothing in common, clash of ambitions, and no unity or agreement. I'm also using these apprentice cards as well because, again, I'm new and it really helps me interpret and makes the message come off a little bit more clear. So, and I'm also going to be reading from a book too. So 5 of Wands. So the 5 of Wands can come up if there's quite a few people who have super strong opinions and they're just not agreeing with one another. You can see these people are literally fighting one another. So again, it can represent rivalry or just a few or a lot of different people in the same room with different ideas, opinions, and they're just not agreeing. There can be misunderstandings, particularly in a work environment. So if you've been noticing just that you're clashing ideas or even beliefs with people who share the same space with you, that could be what's in our past energy. Why is there this rivalry between people who you're surrounded with? Let's see. Maybe again in beliefs or morals, or just you're taking different paths. Maybe you're taking your own path and you're finding yourself needing to escape where you are now. Let's see. Oh, I got another Wands card. So this is 3 of Wands reversed. Okay. So you can see this guy, he's like holding his wand firm in the ground, but this can represent delays, setbacks, lacking foresight. So maybe that's why people are disagreeing. Maybe you need to realign your efforts with your intentions. Maybe you need to reestablish your intentions. Yeah, this also represents communication problems. So maybe the way that you're articulating or trying to portray a message is not coming off as it should be perceived in your eyes. And maybe that's what's creating the conflict. Again, maybe working on your wording. That's something I'm working on personally, is how to articulate and how to get my message across in a concise manner. These two can also impact your relationships. So the conflict of the environment that you're in with your relationships, not agreeing, not being on the same page. Maybe you are having to, or maybe you are needing to come up with a new set of values and intentions to attract like-minded people. So maybe you feel misunderstood or isolated. It is kind of a time right now where I feel that a lot of people are taking a step back and they are reestablishing themselves, lots of ego deaths, people kind of losing a sense of their identity. Again, lack of foresight, must realign your efforts with what fit best with you, your heart. So taking a step back and going internally. Misunderstandings can definitely make you feel isolated. So again, maybe working on how you're communicating whatever it is that you're trying to communicate, whether it be in a workplace, whether it be from your intention standpoint, or how you're trying to deliver a service even. But yeah, let's take a look at our present energy right now. And we have our Page of Wands. So again, so here we have Page of Wands. So all wands so far, very fiery, creative, passionate energy that we have. But something's just, it feels stuck, if you will, or it almost feels like it's just not aligning with your purpose, your creativity, and like your group who you're surrounding yourself with, or your work or your network. It's not just not aligning with you, but it's making you feel unheard, misunderstood. You feel like you're like separate from the rest. So if this resonates, let me know. But Page of Wands, Page being a very like, again, initiation, message oriented kind of card, whether it be for Pentacles or Wands, Cups, Swords. But yeah, and starting new endeavors. So maybe there could be a problem starting a new endeavor. Maybe your enthusiasm has dampened because of this conflict. So right now, maybe you just feel a little stuck. So again, let's pull another card to elaborate on this. And then let's pull a happy card from another deck after this. So maybe we can ask, what can we do when starting our intentions for this new moon to gain a little bit of enthusiasm? What can we do? What's something that we can expand on internally, externally? Let's see. Oops. All right. So the World, okay. With this being the last major arcana card, this actually represents like completion and success in whatever endeavor we were trying to complete. It shows also fulfillment, achievement, what's next. Yeah, so this can represent that the projects that you have been wanting to finish or achieve or complete. Maybe we've completed some projects and work, and maybe people just didn't agree with the way that you finished or completed these projects. Maybe this means that it's time for a new phase in your life. Again, I mentioned ego deaths earlier. Maybe you have completed something and it's super fulfilling in your eyes, or maybe you're just ready to go on to the next chapter and people just don't see from your point of view why you want to proceed and move on. Maybe it means you're switching work locations. Maybe it means you're going on to something bigger and better. So yeah, the World is actually a good card to be in the present, and it just means we're ready to go on to the next thing. So whatever, I mean, perfect for new moon, again, because it's like we're setting intentions, we're starting fresh. What do you want to start fresh with? Do you want to start fresh with something creative, something with work, maybe blending the two, maybe relationships, finding a new like soul tribe, network circle, anything of the sort. But I feel like we need to, if you want to take that next step up, or if you want to level up, you need to, again, take a step back and figure out, what are my intentions? What are my values? And that way you can find opportunities, friends, soul tribes, network circles that align with that. So cool. Let's pull a card from another deck here that have little positive messages. Let's see. Unconditional love. This is pretty. Nice little blue heart. Unconditional love. My heart is free from resentment towards others. I open the eyes of my heart and discover the light and beauty in everything and every being. I am aware that suffering can cause distress and hurt in people. I see the pure child in everyone and practice forgiveness. How fitting, especially after any kind of conflict or disagreements, is seeing the beauty in everyone. And something I was just speaking with to one of my good friends yesterday was like, I was talking about judgment and how I can really sense when someone's judging, like judging anything that I'm doing, especially if it's a very unconventional route. I come from this fitness industry and it's very like, I love it to death, but it kind of, being into fitness and being into like tarot and spirituality and like just other unconventional ways of like health, I feel rubs people the wrong way just because I feel like I'm being judged. And she was kind of telling me, and it came back to something that like my therapist used to tell me, how can you perceive every single person, even if you're having a bad day, even if they're having a bad day, how can you perceive them as their highest form of love? Or if I'm wording that correctly, like say for example, like everyone is in their highest frequency of love, and how would you treat those people? And even if you're in your highest frequency of like love, how would you treat those people? So it's like, whoa, like even the people who are judging. And my friend was saying, almost look at it as a sign that they're curious or they're interested in what you're doing. Like, yeah, they're judging because they don't know, but maybe they are curious. So, yeah, how can you practice forgiveness and show others, along with most importantly, yourself, unconditional love? How can you show that? So, in the present. Cool. So, let's pick a charm to go with this present energy here. Let's see. Cool. So I have a few things. I have so present energy, tree. We have a little tree. Music symbol. Maybe there's something in the music world, whether it's you go to shows, festivals. For me currently, it's funny because I'm actually taking a break from going to shows to focus on business and my passion and creativity. So music, that's relevant for anyone. A little unicorn. Again, maybe something in the creative or fantasy world for you, or maybe something that you find more passion in and you're just drawn to fantasy. Maybe going off of like the Page of Wands here that says always start, never finish. Maybe it's saying reality check, get out of your fantasy. Who knows? So you can look at that one of two ways. This is supposed to be like a little air flow. Maybe get some space to yourself and breathe and focus on you, loving you. I did ask, what can we expand on? And it gave me the world card. The universe gave me the world when I said, what can we expand on? Is there anything that we need to do right now to set a specific intention coming up? Oops, fuck. Is there any other messages that we need right now from the universe? Ways we can provide ourselves with more unconditional love? Is there different ways? Whoop. Okay, I got the Four of Swords. Four of Swords meaning take a break and recharge, clear your head, reflection, mental preparation. So maybe that's what this airflow is, because the swords are more associated with air and air signs, which represent mental activity, ideas, beliefs. So maybe you need to, again, slow down, take a pause, and really tune in to how you're feeling. And again, going back to the setting your own intentions and values, and really figure out like what aligns with you in terms of even like the way you're thinking. But maybe you need to meditate more. Maybe you need to focus more on being in the moment and taking more time to yourself. So again, that way you can come back as your best, higher and more aligned self to attract the people you truly want to attract, and then forgive the people in the past. So cool. Let's move on to our outcome now. So our outcome is Four of Pentacles. So this is a cool card. Interesting for intention setting. Financial stability, protecting your assets. You can see literally this person is like holding and guarding this coin with its dear life here. Like, this is mine, this is mine. So maybe really taking stock with your like accounting stuff. For me personally, my stepmom is helping me with my finances. I have my own business. I've never learned a thing about finances until this year, truly. And I've done taxes on my own too. So it's kind of scary. Like, and when I was in high school, they never taught anything about finances. So my roommate is big in finances, and so is my stepmom. They're both Tauruses, go figure. Pentacles is a very earthy sign. But yeah, those are two pretty big influences in my life right now. My roommate and my stepmom, who are very structured and grounded with their finances. And yeah, it's crazy. It's the material world, possessions, work, health. So yeah, financial stability, holding tight to your money, focused on money, outcome. No new expenditures. This kind of aligns with my present energy, to be honest, because again, I've taken a break from going to shows, festivals. I'm really like taking stock in my structure with my business, and a lot of that has to do with finances. So let's see what else we can elaborate on with our Four of Pentacles here. Yeah, so this can also represent suffering a hardship in the past and just like having a need to stand your ground, maybe setting boundaries. Yeah, so your hard work is paid off. Maybe all that inner work and like time in solitude, reflecting, and reestablishing your values and intentions has paid off because, yeah, maybe you're like me and you're staying in more, reflecting and really working on loving yourself, that unconditional love, to figure out what you truly want. So this new moon can represent, yeah, setting strong, obviously, foundations. So that way you can really become secure, whether it be your material world, your home space, your finances, getting a raise at work, raise or bonus at work, taking control of your health maybe. So cool stuff. Let's elaborate, or let's pull a charm for this outcome here. Cool, an earthy charm here. Let's see if you can see it. It's a tree of life. Cool, so a tree of life. Yeah, it's firmly rooted in the ground. Let's pull another one. Oh, little hearts. They're linked together. Maybe you're drawing in a secure relationship or a love of what you do. Cool. Whether it be a romantic relationship or a strong friendship or a strong bond, that can even represent. You're becoming super rooted, standing firm ground and becoming rooted in what you believe in, and that's helping further your security, whether it be financial or whether it be material, like your home, relationships. So something tangible and something like tactile, tangible. Think Taurus. Cool. Let's pull an oracle card for our final message here of this reading. Super short and sweet. How we like it for the first time. Maybe, but super short and sweet. All right, what is our final message here going to be? Oh, cool. This is fitting. Abundance. Abundance. Let's read what it's about. Number 13. So if there's a 13, lucky number 13. Abundance takes on many forms: material possessions, friendships, excellent health, emotional stability, unique experiences. When you lock yourself into a narrow view on what defines abundance, you lose out on the whole picture of what it could mean. Open yourself up to as many forms of wealth and abundance that are possible and watch your blessings multiply. Always remember that focusing on what you do not have is a surefire way to feed that energy and make that your truth. Every day, watch for signs of abundance from the universe. Acknowledge and be thankful, thus encouraging the continued flow of energy. Remember, the universe will always provide you with what you need. Cool. How fitting, especially with our outcome being the Four of Pentacles and a very earthy energy. And even if we're going back to our Venus right now that just switched into Virgo. Virgo is an earth-related sign, and Virgo is a sign that is of service when in Venus. So they do say health is wealth, and again, very earthy. So cool. We got literally 2 trees in this reading, 2 tree charms. Try saying that 3 times fast. Yeah, we got two tree charms. If you can hopefully see. There we go. Cool, very earthy. One for our past energy, or one for our current energy, and one for our future energy. We have hearts. So again, maybe if you're finding any love or even any new relationships or bonds, maybe it isn't an earth sign. Who knows? Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. With the airflow here. Go with the flow. Cool. And finding some new creative passions, since we got the world card, which means completion and fulfillment. You got completion and fulfillment. Even though we may have had problems with a new endeavor, maybe we can course correct. So current energy, maybe having trouble due to conflict in the past, due to the 5 of Wands and the 3 of Wands reversed. But maybe that just means we need time to reflect and take time to ourselves, to show ourselves unconditional love, so that way we can forgive others in the past, let go of the past and people in it and attachments to expectations, and just show love. I've never pulled the card of abundance before, but I love this because it says, always remember that focusing on what you do not have is a surefire way to feed the energy and make that your truth. So here's a little goal at the end of your day, every day, starting here at this new moon. Write down what you're grateful for, because those thoughts will literally spiral. The momentum from those thoughts will literally spiral. It will literally, that energy will shine, will show itself, will snowball into further gratitude. Or into further gratitude. And that's what abundance is about. So this new moon in Libra, yeah, find yourself a good soul tribe, abundance. What are you grateful for? What are your values and intentions? And go from there. So with that being said, happy new moon and abundance. That's our theme. Cool. Cheers, y'all.